So another thing I have done with Arbanon this over the holidays here was we had been using one set of reports from Amazon to import all the tracking for all your inventory. Now, what we have found was over time, Amazon's kind of changed. Like they didn't change the data columns per se, but the time of the day when they had been generating those reports, it was shifting. And so what was happening? So it'd be, instead of 1 a.m. in the morning, it'd be generated. It'd be like 2 or 3 in the morning, and so it screwed up. It made it a problem for us because we couldn't pick a time of day where we could pull out once, synchronize your inventory, and over time, some accounts would have a lot of drift in their inventory. And so this is a huge problem because we've got an inventory management system. And I got so fed up with them. Like my hope and my dream was, oops, wrong spot. I'll tell you what's set up. My hope and my dream was that I could track it down to the fulfillment center level based on the disposition. We've had to roll it up to a higher level and use a different report that doesn't have that level of detail. So now all we have is, we're just going to be tracking it based on the marketplace, sellable or unsellable. And it makes it a lot easier in a lot of ways because now you can just compare these numbers against what you see in the Seller Central screen for all the inventory. So now it's a lot easier to compare it. You can see it a little bit easier. It's kind of simplifies a lot of things. So actually I think it's a little bit better that way. I don't like losing the detail, but it's a way better report for information, and it's just a lot cleaner data. My account has had the worst history because I've been using Arbanon for 3 years, and my inventory has been just a dog's breakfast in terms of quality because over time I had bugs, built new features, added new stuff, and so my inventory numbers were just off. It was impossible. So 2 things have happened. One, we got a much better, much more reliable, foolproof data that we can pull off of from Amazon every single day, synchronize your inventory through to your account in Arbanon. Now what that also does for us is, because I needed to also make sure it was right, I also created a new feature that auto audits every single day to make sure that it's right. So it does a kind of a triangulation to make sure that, okay, it should be 10 units over there, we've got 10 in the system, but there's a different number, so we can kind of triangulate, make sure, okay, let's make sure it is 10 where it should be. So it's way better, way better. So from my perspective, there's 2 new reports that I love to show you here. The first one is the inventory balances summary report. So let's just look at this as of today. And what I'm going to do here is take a look at the preview and describe to you some of the data that you can see on this report. So just like every other report you'll see in our system, you can download it as a PDF to your computer and store it forever, or you can print it directly to your printer. But let's look at the inventory balances. This is the summary level. So it shows your SKU and the product SKU name here. It shows you how many physical items you've got. So this is how many are in the warehouse or in your general inventory. This is how many holds. Next column is how many holds you have. So every time a sale comes through, so it's an FBA pending order, that's a hold. Anytime you use Arbanon to create a shipment to Amazon, that's an additional hold. It's not until it gets received that that hold gets removed, or when that sale is completed and shipped to the customer that the hold gets removed. So that way we can keep track of those kind of temporary changes in inventory, and then that tells you in the last column how much is actually available. So this is the sellable quantities kind of idea. This is the amount that's actually physically there, ready to go. Now, so I can just kind of go through here. Now, this page here is just two pages of inventory for me. This used to be 66 pages because I had, for all my time of using my system, I had, I think, 2,500 SKUs over time, and so now it's just down to this small handful. But it's like a huge accuracy. Like I can go to Amazon and Seller Central and just tick and bop, and it's exactly the same. So I'm really happy. So when you are comparing our numbers to Amazon, you look at the physical column because that's what we're syncing with. Holds is logic that we're adding on to enhance that experience, so you get more crystal clear resolution into what's happening with your numbers. All right, if you so choose, you can go back in time and pick a different time in the history. But I'm going to show you one more report we've also put in the system here. So this is the inventory balances detail report. So if you recall, I was showing you all of these fulfillment centers, and these are the two new locations, the sellable and unsellable inventory. Now I've got nothing in .com, so if I did, I would see two more there for Amazon.com sellable and Amazon.com unsellable. But by inventory balances detail report, it shows for each SKU what's exactly going on. So for example, on this particular SKU here, so I have it on in .ca. I got 7 physically there. I've got one it's physically there, but it's unsellable for whatever reason, and I've got a pending order. So you can see all three of these numbers here. I got 8, and that's what I would see in Amazon. I got 1, so it shows 1 is reserved. So you'd have 7 minus the 1 equals the numbers, and so then I basically have 7 available. So then I now know what, and it's kind of tricky with the word available, because available means it's physically there, right? And that's how much you can do stuff with. You can't sell it, because if it's unsellable or broken or open, you can't sell it, but it's available, right? It's available in your inventory. Okay, so just showing you all those things. You got your seller SKU, stock name, stock location, and so as I said before, you can track your inventory at any one of the locations. You can add your own locations, and you can track inventory all sorts of ways here. All right, so those are the 2 new cool reports. Lots of detail for you there. The next way you can find your inventory, where inventory exists, is you can look in your inventory management. So I'm going to just go scroll to find a product here that maybe actually is real, not some testing data. And yeah, I don't think any of these had, maybe this one here. Oh, these ones here. Okay, so this one's going to have nothing available, 000. But I can show that I can see that I bought 3 of these on this on this date, and I had sent these 3 in a shipment. And these are all the detail tracking that we use behind the scenes. All the minutia of record keeping. This is what we're doing for you. We're tracking 1s and 2s, and so we know, okay, where it comes from, where it's been, where it's going, and so therefore we know exactly at any point in time we can show you this is where it is, this is where it's gone, and that's really handy to kind of troubleshoot those types of things. So that's what I wanted to show you, and I think that's yeah. So I'm excited to see your thoughts on these new reports and how that's going to help you, because it comes in handy. Just for your purposes, if you want to show yourself a nice little report for what was my inventory count as of the end of the year, you just select last year, and then you hit your preview, and it's going to generate the report based on all that stuff. So because I did my reconciliation and got rid of all my garbage out of my thing, and it was only, I did that in January, so it shows all my 66 pages here, 65 pages of detail of where all these minus 2s were. This was all back in the day I had a bug and it created a lot of minus 2s, so that's all been reconciled out, because now the auditing function is doing its job. Because when I go out today and I look at it today, it's clean right up. It's nice and synchronized. I don't have those types of issues anymore. It's all good. If it's not in Amazon, it's not showing up here. And so that's just such a great way of making sure that you know you can trust these numbers and have a great experience knowing that you can rely on those figures.